As part of this campaign, the Columbans co-sponsored an international gathering of scientists and academics in Manila to discuss the issues around GM food.
I mean, what are they saying to promote genetically engineered foods?
International author and Columban missionary Sean McDonough doesn't accept the biotech argument on why the world needs GM food.
And of course, the reasons they give is we need genetically engineered food to feed the world. GE food is not going to feed the world, because feeding the world is ultimately a question of the distribution of food. And all we have to do is to look at countries where you have situations of food surplus. Brazil, for example. Brazil is now the fourth largest exporter of food in the world. So there's plenty of food being produced there. It's been exported to Europe and to North America. But, and this is the issue, at least 40 million people go to bed every night hungry in Brazil. So even if you create more food there through genetic engineering, it doesn't mean that the 40 million people who need the food will actually get it.
There is a final dark chapter to the GM debate. Not satisfied with demanding royalties from farmers who use their seeds, biotech corporations have developed the terminator gene, a gene that makes plants infertile. Farmers cannot reuse seeds from their harvested GM crops. Instead, they are forced to buy more seeds from the biotech companies. What's more, terminator genes may prove unstable with unforeseen mutations. In open fields, birds and wind could carry terminator genes to non-GM fertile crops and even native plants, rendering them sterile as well.
This will have an enormous negative impact on food, because since the beginning of the agricultural revolution 11,000 years ago, farmers have constantly exchanged seeds with each other, and that's what has given rise to the 80,000 varieties of rice that are now available, the 5,000 varieties of potatoes. All of this came from the hard work of peasant farmers and tribal people. This now is all being wiped out, taken over by a handful of very rich corporations for their particular good. I would argue that this technology is one of the most evil things the world has ever seen. Here, people who have been educated by others, who have shared their knowledge, have designed a gene to ensure that the seeds of this particular plant are sterile. I would argue it's a sin against life, it's a sin against the poor, it's a sin against nature, and it is a sin against God, the God of all creativity.